What's up, guys? Mike Lewis here, and welcome to the Mike Lewis podcast. If you guys want to keep up with me on social media, you can follow me on Instagram at Mike Lewis Official, and you can follow me on Twitter at MikeLew52. It's where most of my updates come. If you're enjoying my content, give me a like and a subscribe. And without further ado, let's just dive right into this episode. Okay, Belou, thank you for joining me today. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
It's
Yeah.
been a while since a lot of people have heard from you. I mean, I would ask, what this past year has been like for you, because I know there's obviously been a lot of craziness in the world. But I guess I'll just start by asking, how has life in general been for you over the last few years? Like, what are you up to these days? Where are you? What's life like for Belou these days?
No, it's my life is kind of crazy always. Like it's been kind of crazy, and yeah, it's beautiful. It's like I'm living a movie. Actually, I'm just. It's pretty intense, but I'm good. I'm good. Yeah. I found out a lot about myself and about life, and yeah. I mean, it can be hard, and yeah, it's ups and downs. If you're really honest about life, but yeah, now I'm doing really good. So I'm in a good place right now. Yeah.
Do you have your own brand that you have? Because I saw from following you, you have a link in your bio. What is that?
The link in my bio is my own. I call it a theater show musical. I made it myself. I wrote it myself. And yeah, I also make art, so I try to put everything together and make something out of that. So um, it's hard to make it like one thing, because people are asking, what do you do and what is your style? And it's very hard to fit in somewhere. I'm just making art, music. I write poetry. I write scenarios. I make up my own characters.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, and I've been doing that for a long time, and that's what almost drove me crazy too, because I've been diagnosed with bipolar.
Wow, really?
Yeah, yeah.
How long,
Uh,
how long ago did you get diagnosed with that?
like 4 years ago now. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Has that been difficult to navigate?
Um, mm, yeah, very. It was eye-opening for me, like an eye-opening experience. It's a very spiritual experience. People most often think being psychotic or having bipolar diagnosed is something bad, but it has its flip side. But actually, it's a really spiritual, eye-opening experience. So I had to go through it. That's the way I see it. But I have to learn to deal with it, and it's like uh, yeah. In the old days, you had psychic people, and these days, all the people who are having psychic, what I call it, psychic powers, are being labeled crazy or bipolar, or so most of the time. Yeah, you get shut in that corner and you get medicines for being normal again. And yeah, that's hard because you have to find a way in between, and the medicines numb you. They take away your feelings, like they make you feel less. So you get bored actually. You get very numbed out, and you lose a lot of your yeah what I call skills to feel, to make things, to create things, and uh, to enter into other realms. And for an artist, that's like stealing your creativity away.
Yeah.
And for me, that was a slap in the face, and I had to deal with yeah, the people from the pharmacy and the psychiatrics and myself to find a middle way. And now I found a good way, so I really healed, and I know I need a lot of sleep. I know I need a lot of rest. Sometimes I need to meditate. I need to take breathing practice and stuff like that to keep my mind at ease.
Right.
Um, because I have contact with other realms, and I make it consciously. It's not that I understand it now, but I also understand that when you have this gift, or it's also a kind of curse. It has a flip side, and that's that you maybe that you stop sleeping, that you just go on, and that you don't know how to stop it, and this energy is very high. So it's you have to control it yourself. So this is what you're working with actually. So now I know, and yeah, it gave me a lot of insight in how the mind works.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. So obviously you left the world of reality TV quite a bit ago. Was that something you had intentions on leaving in the past and kind of flying under the radar with, or did it organically happen?
Now it's a nice story. I was I after I was on the first show, the Road Rules number 3.
Yeah.
We did Europe, and I met Michelle and all my castmates, and we got very close. And I made some money, so I used that money after we were finished filming, and I made a lot of contacts with the crew also, and we were not allowed to make any contacts with the crew members. And we were European, like me and Antoine and Patrice, and we didn't understand what we signed up for actually, because when we got into this reality experience, we thought we could be free, like in anything ourselves. But actually, there's not a script, but you cannot make any contact with the crew members. That's like a rule. You're not allowed to say hi to the cameraman, like hi.
Yeah.
So we thought it was strange, and we made friends with them, like uh, because we thought that was normal. And at a certain point, we got into a fight because we didn't understand why they were telling us like we couldn't make any contact with the crew. And the producer, Mary Ellis, she needed to come over from the States to Europe to talk to us about it, because we really didn't understand. It was a big problem with filming the process, because we would always like talk to the cameraman and stuff like that. So she came over, and I convinced her that it was okay. And she said, okay, I make an exception only for this crew. So she made an exception for us. So we became very good friends with the crew members. And so after that, I really wanted to see everybody and travel to the States, and also to see Michelle. I was really good friends with her. So I traveled with the money. I went to New York with my friends, a DJ from Amsterdam, and a friend of mine, a good friend. And we went to record stores and just experiencing New York. And then I went to Miami. I stayed there for a while. It was very nice. And with the aunt, with a woman I know. And then I went to Chile, South America, and I traveled there. And I came back to, and then my money was finito, and they asked me if I wanted to stay in LA for a while to work for the MTV, do interviews, and I stayed in LA for a while. I worked there, and I stayed in uh, an apartment with some friends and some people who worked for BET,
Yeah.
and made friends with them. And I stayed with Michelle a lot. And I stayed with a guy. I became friends with an actor. His name is Brad Retro.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I became very good friends with him. I was like 19 at the time, I guess 20. Like I stayed for like 2 years or something, and I became very good friends with Brad. And he was like 14 years old by that time, or 15, and he rented a place in the hills with his grandmother, or he bought it. I don't know, but he was living up in the hills with his grandmother, and he lost his parents, so he had a kind of rough life in the south where he came from. And he came with his grandmother, and they lived up in the hills, and he was like hiding booze under his under his bed and shit. And he was, yeah, I've been through a lot of stuff with him, but he was really funny. He was acting up a lot because he was like the famous guy, and he had a lot of actresses at his place. That's how I met him. I went to him with Kim and Michelle, and they were trying to be actresses, in Los Angeles, and they knew him, and that's how I met him. And I remember that he was telling everybody what to do and saying, "Yeah, get me the scissors," and he asked me, "Get me the fucking scissors. I want to cut my weed." And I was like, "You go get the fucking scissors your fucking self." And he was like, "What the fuck? Who are you?" And I'm like, "I don't give a fuck who you are." And he was like, "Oh, I'm from Amsterdam." And he was like, "Oh, you're my friend, man. You're so cool." And we just became friends. And I hung out a lot with him. I was worried about him actually because he was young, drinking a lot. Yeah, looking for.
So that world was overwhelming
So
for
that
you?
was still Hollywood experience was overwhelming. Everybody on the street was like, "Blue, we love you, and we know you." And I was like, "What the fuck? You don't know me? See me on TV once, you know?" It was really weird. And I was going FIP everywhere. I had a false ID. I remembered I had to take a false ID. We went to Compton or something, I don't know. And we went get me a false ID for the club, to go to the clubs, because I wasn't 21 yet. I remember that. With the guy Devin. I miss him, by the way. Yeah, he was the editor, the music editor for MTV, for the Road Rules. And I'm friends with Devin and what's he called? Come on, Emily. Uh, yeah, I've seen them a
Yeah.
lot behind the scenes too. We hang out a lot. I don't know if you know Devin Dreadlocks.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my friend too. We went out to eat. I came later to Los Angeles when I had to do the Mexico challenge.
Battle of the Seasons?
Battle of the Seasons, yeah. That was crazy, yeah. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Well,
Chadwick and the whole. It's crazy how they edit it. You know, if you look back at the shows, they edit everything like so, like oh my god, you know.
what do you mean by that specifically?
they, yeah, it's not how it really went. You know, it's like they take out pieces and they just know, like Holly and Chet were saying, yeah. She was out by the baby was out by the window, and there was a hurricane, but the whole thing was not like that. And then they filmed the hurricane and the window going broken when the window was going broken in the real world house, not at the Road Rules place, you know. And they
So
edited
there was no window that broke?
each other, so it's like for people it looks like it's really happening, like the baby was there and the window was broken, and but it wasn't
So,
happening.
so the baby wasn't there and the window didn't break, is what you're saying?
Yeah, there was
Wow.
no broken at our house. It was at the real world's place.
So they
You can
spliced that
see it
in.
in the edit. If you are real good eyed, you can see like, oh, that's the real world place and that's the road rules place, you know. So we had two different houses. They were on the beach. So yeah, and there was a hurricane, but we couldn't help it because the hurricane was coming. But Leo J, my baby, was all the time being safe. So it was
Yeah.
like, yeah, and that's what they do all the time with editing. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
What did you think of that confrontation between you and them two? And did you were you cool with them or?
Yeah, I always think like it's been uh, I like it. I kind of like it. When I look back at it, it's like it's movie. It's I like drama and movie, and I also like the part where I stab Antoine with the butter knife, which didn't happen, but you know, it's like I just love the parts where I go berserk. Yeah, but no, I really do. I kind of like it. It's kind of ghetto. I represent what I represent there, you know, and it was true for me. That's like a part of my life, the hood, the people, people that don't understand it, a single mother taking her baby to the challenge. Yeah, to me it's like a kind of eye opener. People can think about it how they want and see it how they want it. But I really thought that Chadwick and Holly were kind of cheesy, the white perfect married couple, you know, that's doing all the sporty stuff and and, like Ken and Barbie, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
So then they were all like in this very Christian and very Christian white uh, Chadwick and Holly, but they had a lot to say about me behind my back, so I was like, that's not so Christian, you know.
Was
Like,
that shown?
yeah, that was showing because they were saying, yeah, I don't agree on how she's raising her baby. And then Holly's talking to a girl who's wearing my shirt because I loved her so, Kara or Tara.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I gave her my shirt to wear, because I loved her so. And yeah, she was talking to Tara like, yeah, how she raises her baby. We were not allowed to say hockey stick at home. Hockey stick. Yeah, it's really white, cheesy, being Christian, good girl. Like, whoa, Belou saying fucking bitch and blah, 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 blah. And then you hear beep, 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 beep. Yeah. It's, I'm also doing a role maybe without consciously being there doing a character, but I was also trying to compromise the extremes. We are not the same. Yeah.
So you mentioned about the Antoine thing with the knife as well. That didn't actually happen? Like you didn't actually stab him?
No. But it's funny. It's funny, man. Yeah, I was in my mind one day. I was asking Rosie Perez if she wants to play in my movie, and she was like, "No." She said, "I want to stab Antoine with the butter knife." But okay, but yeah, it's really cool stabbing Antoine with the butter knife. No, it wasn't true. It was just they filmed me taking the butter knife from the table. So I took the knife actually. So maybe I really wanted to, in the moment, stab somebody with it. But I dropped it in the moment too. So it was like I don't know why they were so smart to film that shot, but they were really. And they made it like bigger, like, oh, I'm blue. And then Antoine said, they said to Antoine, while I was outside, they said to him, she wanted to stab you with a butter knife. We have footage. And he's like, really? What? And then he comes outside, you tried to stab me. And he wants to
Well,
throw me in the water. And he said, I throw you in the water. It's so fucking funny.
well, in reality TV, I think that with the narratives and how things are edited, they want to fit characters or cast members into certain archetypes or roles, and I feel like maybe that was the route they tried taking with you and how they wanted to play you up. Do you feel like you were misunderstood on these shows?
uh, Yeah, there are some things that didn't. The first show was good because I actually, when I signed up for this, Carmen Cuba, she was the my cast manager, my
Yeah.
casting manager. She's a real good one, by the way. She's my friend too. I love her. Yeah, and I miss her, but I can't find a way to contact her. But I know her sister too. I stayed with them in Los Angeles. Uh, Jennifer is her sister.
Yeah.
Yeah, and uh, she's really cool, by the way. But I was really into hip hop. She met me at a hip hop bar in Amsterdam, the Duivel. It's a
Wow.
very famous bar right now, but before not. But now everybody knows, all the famous people were there, like KRS One's been there, Wu-Tang Clan, everybody's been
Wow.
in the cafe. So I was there as a young girl, for like 17 years old. I was 16, I guess, 17. I was just turned 17. And Carmen Cuba came up to me in that cafe. I was out there doing rapping and freestyling and being myself. And then she came up to me. She said, "Do you want to be on MTV?" She uh, gave me a sheet at what time I had to come to some place at the Milky Way. And I came. And then that day I had to write all kinds of stuff about myself. Like they had many questions, a book full, and I had to write all the answers. And I just wrote big letters, hip hop and one love and blah 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 blah. And they asked me who are your heroes, and I was like Gandhi and Bob Marley, and I was just going on, just writing what I felt, and I entered into the. Uh, I gave it to the woman. I went away, and they called me to come back. Or I was. She said I saved the best for last. When I saw Carmen Cuba again, she said I saved the best for last, and that was me. She saved the whole book. She said yeah, and I was like okay, and then I just went through all these thousands of girls. They picked me out, and before I knew it, I had to come to London. And I talked there with Mary Ellis and all the producers and the people. They interview you one more time, and then they chose me to be on it. And so I was really having. They had a lot of information about you, so they knew that I was representing hip hop and that was in my life, what I was doing, and your dreams, and they know a lot about you. Like I was wanting to be scenario writer from day one, so that's what they knew about me too. And I thought it was more about that, and it was more about that in the beginning. In Road Rules 3, the first it was more about who you are, what your experience is on the way, the more personal, more real. And later in Mexico, I Had to rethink about it. But that was already happening. I've been in a challenge in in where was it? Uh, Come on. What's it called? Shit. I hate that place. That's why I don't. New Zealand. No, not New Zealand. The other Australia. I've been to Australia.
There was another challenge you were.
Yeah, I was in a challenge against. We had to challenge like a group. We had to
Oh,
challenge.
was that the
It was
when
in Australia. I was with Kifla and
is that what you guys versed?
Ronnie. You know.
Yeah, yeah. Was that the rugby game? Are you talking
Yeah,
about?
it was the rugby.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah,
Was
yeah.
Oscar. And that day, me and Oscar, we started the revolution. I remember. We fucked up the whole shit. And I remember, I think MTV was. I always thought they were done with me after that, you know. But no, they took me to Mexico one more time. So, and me and Coral were really good friends, and you don't see that. Like you don't see what was really going on. Like it's really bad. And Coral is like okay, but anyway, it's like yeah, you don't see what's really going on. You see a little
Yeah,
bit between her and Steven, and a little bit like, but you don't see the you always see the bad parts, like there's a fight or there's something going on. But the good stuff is
yeah. Left
so
out.
I'm really good friends with Theo too. I love
Oh,
Theo. I mean,
yeah.
yeah. So like we and Coral and Theo are good too, and like these people are good. Like
Yeah. So I want to bring it back to your casting process a little bit. You were seeked out by a casting manager, like you weren't actively trying out. You were just at a hip hop event. Did I catch that correctly?
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So you didn't have any aspirations of getting onto TV as
No,
far as like a entertainment
no,
role
I
went?
didn't know what was happening to me. I had a lot of friends who were like they are celebrities now. Like I was into the hip hop, so I knew a lot of rappers. I was friends with people who were already on TV and doing their
Oh,
thing as a
yeah.
rapper, as and as DJs, you know. So I've been around artists and stuff, and I wanted to be an artist myself. But I had no aspiration to be on reality TV. So for me, it was also a funny thing. Like when it came to me, it was all my friends were having laughs about it, and you know,
Wow.
yeah.
Sounds like you got to rub elbows with a lot of important people then.
Uh, rock. Yeah. Yeah, when I came back, it all ended for me, man. Like coming back to Amsterdam, it's like here it's not such a big thing, you know. It's not, and I guess in America it's the same. I mean, I guess like somebody like Theo who does comedy now has to yeah, prove himself extra or something, you know, because people think hey, he might think that he's been on reality TV and you know that's why he's so great.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's something. But what I found out about us is that we all funny and I mean we all like kind of special people, you know. It's not. So the casting agents were doing good work. They were trying to find characters out in the world. That, yeah.
So I want to bring it to post Road Rules a little bit. You know, just specifically speaking about you and your Road Rules cast. Did you guys remain close after the show? And more specifically, people wanted to know about Michelle because obviously, you know, she ended up passing away shortly after your guys. I think she went and did a challenge herself, and then she passed away after that. What was maybe your dynamic, maybe with her prior to her passing away, and also the rest of your crew?
Uh, that was yeah that was really hard when I heard it. Where it came like a bomb, yeah, into my life. she went too soon, and she was my friend, and I stayed with her in Los Angeles, and I knew her struggles also. She didn't have a lot of struggles. Her only struggle was that she was trying to be an actress, and maybe that's not what she really wanted to do. So uh, she found she wanted to go home. That's what I heard. That the day she decided to go back home, that she made an accident on her way. So yeah, that's really sad. Like she's an angel. Like for to me, she just lives on, and I talk to her a lot. I do, and yeah, she's a great memory. She's like yeah, she's a great spirit. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So
Well,
yeah, it's sad, and I
yeah.
guess we're very close. We had a very our cast was very close. We wrote each other letters. We kept in contact, and we were good friends, and we yeah we became very close. So it's like yeah, that's
Hmm.
I don't talk to them a lot anymore. I talked to Patrice a couple of times. He came to Amsterdam to see me. He made some pictures of me. That's what he does now. He makes a lot
Wow.
of pictures of people, and he does a lot with speaking for people. I don't know what he does exactly, but he's busy. And he had a good job when he came to Berlin. MTV signed him.
Mhm.
So yeah, he's pretty successful with being Patrice. Yeah, yeah. And I saw him, and Antoine is what I saw. I did a little bit research. He's busy with making sort of art projects, but really big ones with chairs and buildings and very architecture
Yeah.
and stuff. He's going
Mhm.
really deep into that. I saw him on TEDx.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, and yeah, but I don't have contact with him anymore, and that's really sad because we were really good friends. He came to Amsterdam a lot of times, and he used to live in Belgium, so I don't know if he still does.
Right.
But he's been in a couple of challenges too. Like I was seeing him, I was like, okay, yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. I wanna dive a little bit into your challenge though,
Yeah,
the obviously battle of the seasons, because I gotta say, and still stands the test of time. You were quite the bit of a trailblazer with obviously, we've first time we've ever seen it, and then the last time we've ever seen a mother bring her child onto a show.
yeah.
That was, I want to say, 4 years after your original road roll season. So was that some type of bargain that MTV made with you to try and get you on the season by allowing you to bring your child, or how did that process work?
Yes, uh, they allowed it. They asked me on the season. I say, I have a kid. He's 8 months old. I just got her. Yeah, bring her. I'm like, for real? Yeah. I say, everything is cool. I mean, like, there's a nanny, there's everything is just arranged. Yeah, no problem. So I said, okay, I'll bring her. And I remember I had to train because I just had a daughter, so I
Yeah.
wasn't really fit. So I was going to the gym and getting ready. Yeah, yeah.
Was that stressful navigating the competition while having your child in that house?
No, no, it was
No.
really nice. No, no, it was really nice. I mean, like, the reason why most of the time I do these things is that you're out somewhere. You get to see things. You wake up 6 o'clock in the morning. You go to bed early. So it's not like it's nice. It's like a vacation. It's like you have things to do, and everything is arranged. There's good food. There's good people around you. So it's like it's not a bad thing. It doesn't feel like a jail. I mean, it's there's the cameras on you. That's the only deal that they are there from the morning till the evening. So and you know they're going to edit all the stuff in their own way. So you're really giving something away about yourself, your private life. So that's actually the deal. But the experience is very nice. I mean,
Yeah.
and for my child, so she was playing with the nanny. Nanny was taking her out. She was seeing palm trees all day. I could go to her whenever I want, say hi, give her a bottle, stay with her for a little bit, go back. So it was really like, and she was like everybody loved her. She was like the baby in the, so she was going, and that's also like I see people talking about like, yeah, Belou was carrying her baby. Everybody was carrying her baby. Okay, but to me it's no big deal. Like it's good, for a baby to be carried by people.
Yeah.
And loved. So it's by friends. Eric. I know everybody there. So it's like it's not like you're with family actually. It's like, so, yeah.
How is your child doing today?
Good.
Good.
Yeah. Yeah. I have 2 daughters now. So yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So an additional one to the one that we saw on the show.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
She's younger. The one on the show is my first child. She's the oldest daughter, and then I have a younger one. But they're
good for you.
like big now. So
Yeah. So is your time on TV something that you look back in a positive light, or you just try not to think about it?
No, it's positive. I think it's in a positive light. Yeah, it's like it's additional to my own story. It's like it's I really it's dear to me. Like I hold it dear because it's I don't know. I've always seen TV like a way to express something or say something, and more people can see it. So like it's a yeah, and I think reality TV is really beautiful. As it's supposed to be, as it was, like the makers of Real World and Road Rules. To me, they are like big artists, like that was the first reality show there ever was. So like it's vintage to me. So really proud to be part of that actually. So, but what I see now happening with MTV and the challenges is not the same. Like it's
yeah, definitely not the same. They've taken a much different approach with casting, just to name a few.
Yeah. So like it's not reality TV anymore. It's like it's grown into a big business, and you have it everywhere. Like it's a big thing. It's and that's what happens to a lot of things. They turn commercial, or they so it's,
So I have a proposition for you, since I'm not sure if you've heard or not through the grapevine. So this past year, I don't know if you remember him or not. He was one of the hosts from that challenge season you were on, Mark Long.
Mark Long.
Yeah, he was on the.
The blonde guy. In Mexico. Not Eric.
Yeah.
Mark.
Yes. He started this old school challenge that's a spin-off in addition to the obviously newer challenge, which is like evolved into some crazy thing. But he started a separate one that's now they did one season already aired earlier this year, and then the second one's actually currently filming. It consists of just older real worlders and road rulers specifically getting a chance. It's like a 2-week condensed season.
Yeah.
A lot of people are curious to know, were you contacted to be on that? And if you haven't been contacted, would you be open in the future if you were contacted to do it?
But what are they doing? They doing challenges with the people from the original shows, or he's
It's like all the people that you remember, from like when you were on. Like it's
okay.
like it's a shortened season, so it's not nowadays on the regular challenge they film up to like a month and a half. This is like a 2-week condensed challenge.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that something you would be open to if given the chance?
Yeah, yeah. I have to think about it a little and see what it is, because I have no idea, no clue. I didn't hear of it, by the way, also.
Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I have to see it. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
So this is the first.
Like, yeah, yeah,
This is the first you're hearing about it.
yeah. And
Okay.
where's he doing it? In the States?
I think they're doing it. I know, like the first season, I think they had in. I don't want to say Austria, maybe. It was the first. They're doing them overseas, but like this season that they're filming the second season of it in Cancun right now, Mexico.
Yeah, that's where
Okay.
we've been before. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that was where was I? Cabo San Lucas.
Okay.
It's my
So
place. Yeah.
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 Did you try to pursue a rap career post TV at all, or?
Um, I started making other music in my life. It has a lot of influences. I still make rap also. I take influences of rap into my music, but it's not like hardcore rap music. It's not hardcore hip hop. I take a lot of other influences from grunge music to soul to anything I like actually. But I still make music with a band also.
Oh wow.
Yeah, yeah. 6 years now we are working with the same band. So we are also making that musical theater I was working on, and that's really nice. I get um, good how do you say it, credit from it. So as long as I've been doing it now, so everybody's like, yeah, go on, don't stop. So
Yeah.
that's what I'm doing. I'm just going on, and I really would still love to make a movie. So I've been working on that for a long time. Working on a scenario and a script, and also making film. Uh, yeah, um, I'm not looking for a big career in rap. Like, no, I've let that pass me, and I was never looking for that. I guess I was always trying to find my place somewhere. So yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Yeah,
Well, yeah. I appreciate you taking the time to do this today. I had a really fun time chatting with you. It was a lot of nice stories that got revealed, and you seem to be in a pretty good place in your life. I'm glad to hear that, and maybe it was fun for you to reminisce on some old times.
yeah, it was really cool. Yeah, and I like to say hi to those people. I don't know if they check this out, but if they do, yeah.
No, people are going to be seen.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah. All
Nice.
right. Well,
Yeah.
I'll let you go now, but hope you have a great rest of your week, and thank you again.
Yeah. Thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Okay. Ciao.